Sing the Blues says the £10 million reports are not true. Palace want £8 million for him. Even if it's £8 million.
8 million is still a lot of money.
Aye. And he's not, I mean, he's I think you're right in saying he's 22 years old. He was on loan
It's
at.
clearly somebody that Rangers have identified. Russell Martin.
Yeah. His name's been about for a while.
Kevin Thelwell, yeah. And we've known all along they were looking for at least 2 wingers. So they've got one in who made not a bad start on Tuesday night. And clearly this could be the next part of the jigsaw for Rangers. I think things are starting to move. I believe that Robin Proper, I think his deal with 20 is moving quite rapidly now. That might start to crystallise over the next 24 hours. And that's another part of the kind of trade model that they need to get going. It's all very well identifying targets and spending money on people, but you actually need to get rid of some as well.
Yeah.
So I think I think Proper, that might start to move in the next 24 hours. And I think he'll be the first of many.
Well, Rangers is he okay in the comments points out. He says, read a report today willing to go to £8 million for Rak-Sakyi, which would be a statement of intent, but it'll probably be offset by Igaman going in the next few weeks. Can still see us buying 3 or 4. I think that's a good point. Igaman, I mean, even Dessers has future. I mean, I don't know. It seemed a couple of weeks ago he was definitely going to Ike Athens, and it's all kind of died now.
Yeah, and again, that's a measure of a new Rangers regime which isn't going to settle for the first offer.
Yeah.
They've put a value on Dessers, quite rightly so. He made a major goal contribution last season and the season before. So they'll have a price in their own head of what they think is value for money in terms of accepting a bid. And clearly that bid that mark on the wall hasn't been reached yet. And that's, again, a sign that Rangers are in a different place financially from where they have been over the years, where 6 months ago, 12 months ago, they'd probably bitten somebody's arm off for that sort of fee for Dessers. So you can feel there's a change in momentum. And, as we've said, it's about time that Scottish clubs, Celtic have been the market leaders with this. They've got value for money. They've actually really achieved, tremendous the way they've worked the transfer market. But it'd be good if Rangers could take a leaf out of that book. But it would also be great, and we've talked about this, bids getting knocked back for players at Pittodrie, the kind of low ball and stuff that happens every summer. Isn't it great if we're now in a position where Scottish clubs are flexing their muscles a little bit and saying, no, we won't stand for that?
Mm-hmm. Well, look, in the comments as well, Scott says he'd sell Dessers for even £4 million would be good business. Rangers Easy OK says, don't think £4 million for a player who scored 30 goals last season is unfair. I've got to be honest, I kind of agree with you in the sense that I think Scottish clubs have got to look around Europe and take the mick a bit more. If that's
certainly
right,
stand your ground.
Stand your ground, aye.
Yeah.
4 or 5 million is not a lot to these clubs.
Here's the thing, right? If you're Rangers, do you think you can replace a 30-goal striker with £5 million, €5 million, whatever it is that AK Athens were looking at? And the answer would be, well, yeah, if you're a real magician, if you've got something right up your sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
But Dessers might not be everybody's cup of tea, but he's a guy that has weighed in consistently with goals.
Yeah,
and yet there's no way of knowing with any sort of certainty, even if you're paying 6, 7, 8 million euros, are you going to get a guy coming in the way who can guarantee as many goals as the guy going out the way? And if you can't, then why do the business?
Exactly. As Dennis says in the comments, sell Dessers for £5 million is crazy. Be better keeping him as it'll cost more to replace him. Not guaranteed a new striker will get 25 goals a season. That's the thing. Even if they go, we'll put all that £5 million into a new striker. There's no guarantees. Also in the comments, our pal Gianni says, what would your front three be next week in Greece? He says he thinks Andy Newport and Scott are flying over from Turkey for it. I don't think
they're not in the front three.
I don't think they'll be in the front three. But it's an interesting question. I mean, if the guys like Dessers, Igaman have got another week of training under their belt, playing Middlesbrough at the weekend, obviously, do you think
Danilo? And I know that some Rangers fans were getting excited. Is this the rebirth of Danilo? Are they finally going to see the real Danilo? It was a bit of a damp squib of a performance from him.
Yeah.
As I said the other night, he's creamed a left foot volley, and it's heading into it's going to take the net off.
Looked like it was in now.
it took a deflection, it went wide. Kind of sums up Danilo's luck over the period as a Rangers player. And if that one goes in, then maybe he's flying in confidence. Maybe he goes on to have the night of his life, and maybe he keeps his place for the second leg. I don't think he showed anywhere near enough over the 90 minutes at Ibrox to justify keeping that shirt for the second leg. So I think the option is then, do you go with Egerman? Do you go with Dessers? And I think purely on the weight of goals and the evidence that the back catalogue provides, you're probably going to go with Dessers for that game.
Aye. And then as well, Finlay Curtis, I said last night or whenever the game was, he won't give up that left side spot easily, and nor should he. I mean, great goal the other night, didn't stop running.
Again, I wonder, is it possible to get him and Gassama into the same team? Can one switch? Can one play right, one left?
Of course, because Kieran Dowell was in the right.
Yeah.
Without any harm to him.
Well, there's an obvious...
an obvious change,
yeah. But you've also got Arsgaard, probably going to be in contention because he was named in the squad, and it's only a squad for these 2 games. So if he's not in contention, it would suggest that something's not going quite right with his rehab. He's obviously scheduled to be ready for the second leg. And again, there's a lot of excitement about him. I'm not sure. I don't think you would call him a winger, but I wonder, do you get him into the team someplace? So I think there's quite a lot for Russell Martin to think about ahead of that game. But I'm sure he'll have his own ideas. For me, if Finlay Curtis and Gassama, if you think that one can play right and one left, or if you want to switch them about, that might be the option.
Yeah. See, just going back to what we were talking about with Rak-Sakyi and Rangers transfers. See if Rangers were, hypothetically, to spend £8 to £10 million on a young player in this transfer window. Do you think that would put pressure on Brendan Rodgers and Celtic?
I think I don't know. No, I don't, in terms of, I think Celtic are perfectly happy to concentrate on what they are doing, concentrate on their business. So in terms of Brendan Rodgers, I don't think he'll be overly concerned by it. Celtic won't. Do you know who gets concerned and who starts getting angsty? Is if the Celtic fans see Rangers that are meant to be, searching down the back of the couch for transfer funds, and that has been the way of things over the while. And if they're looking across and go, wait a minute, he's just signed an £8 million Premier League winger, then the heat gets transferred towards Brendan Rodgers and onto the board. But in terms of how Celtic and they go about their business, they'll be focused on what they're trying to do in the market, not what anybody else is doing. But it's impossible in this environment, in this city, for one to go without the other. If Celtic fans, who are already a little bit frustrated and angsty about this transfer window, if they see a deal like that getting done, then again the anxiety level goes up a notch and tempers start to fray.
That's why I asked it, because I think that's what would happen. A lot of Celtic fans would be like, hang on a minute, we're meant to be...
How can they do that?
We're meant to be the rich ones. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that'll force the Celtic board's
Competition's
hand.
always a good thing.
Aye.
And this is why, we haven't had a great deal of competition in Scottish football for a while, in terms of the...
Best part of 15 years.
Who's lifting the trophies. So, yeah, and competition also is the thing that kills off complacency.
Yeah.
And that's so important, because you should always be striving to be better. And, Celtic have had it, I'm not going to say easy, but their priority has been just stay ahead, just do enough to be significantly better than the guys on the other side of the fence, and everything just keeps ticking over. But if the guys on the other side of the fence are actually come into a few quid and they're building an extension,
Aye, exactly.
you better do something to keep up with the neighbours and stay in front of them.
Aye.